What happens when a WNBA legend completely destroys everything you thought you knew about one of the league's most hyped players?
All of you all that are gonna go home and write a biography on how wrong this is, you guys can kick rocks. What's up, fam? Candace Parker here. I'm gonna do a tier ranking of WNBA players. I'm gonna try. Then you got Angel Reese. I put her right at that C level.
Candace Parker just dropped a ranking that sent Angel Reese's fan base into complete chaos, and the aftermath reveals a truth so shocking, it'll change how you see the entire WNBA forever. This isn't just about hurt feelings or social media drama. This is about exposing the biggest illusion in women's basketball today. Parker didn't just rank Reese lower than expected. She placed her in C tier alongside an injured player, treating basketball's supposed double-double queen like she's still trying to prove herself in the league. But when you dive into the actual evidence Parker used to justify this ranking, you'll discover why Reese's biggest supporters have been living in complete denial about what really matters in winning basketball. The explosion happened during Parker's appearance with Complex Sports, where the 7-time All-Star and 2-time MVP was asked to rank current WNBA players into different tiers. At the top, she placed A'ja Wilson, Nafisa Collier, and Breanna Stewart in the elite S tier, players she described as having multiple championships and the ability to completely dominate both sides of the court. Caitlin Clark landed solidly in A tier, with Parker explaining that Clark just needs more time and experience to reach that elite S level. The respect was obvious. Parker recognized Clark's ability to transform her entire team's offensive system and elevate everyone around her. Then came the placement that broke the internet. Angel Reese got dumped into C tier, right next to injured rookie Cameron Brink. Parker's explanation was brutal in its honesty. She stated that to rank higher, you need the ability to carry your team and be a legitimate number 1 or 2 option. While acknowledging Reese's offensive rebounding skills, Parker made it crystal clear that she views Reese as a role player, not someone capable of leading a championship-level organization. The message was unmistakable. Double-doubles don't automatically make you a superstar. The internet meltdown was immediate and absolutely spectacular. Reese's supporters flooded every social media platform, calling Parker a hater and demanding explanations for what they saw as pure disrespect. The outrage reached fever pitch as fans convinced themselves their favorite player was being unfairly targeted by someone jealous of her success. Comment sections turned into war zones as the Reese's Pieces army mobilized for digital battle. What made the backlash even more intense was the timing. This ranking came just as Reese had been celebrating another double-double streak, with her supporters pointing to these statistics as proof of her elite status. They couldn't comprehend how someone with Parker's credentials could look at those rebounding numbers and still place Reese so low on the hierarchy. When pressed to defend her assessment, Parker remained completely calm and measured. She appeared on the Good Follow podcast and stated there was no hate toward Angel Reese, emphasizing that she would never attack someone's character. Her comments focused purely on basketball ability and what it takes to be a franchise cornerstone. This response made Parker's position even stronger. Here's someone with unquestionable credentials, multiple All-Star appearances, MVP awards, and championship experience, providing thoughtful basketball analysis while getting attacked by people who clearly don't understand the difference between individual stats and team success. The credibility gap became impossible to ignore. Basketball analysts started supporting Parker's honest assessment. They recognized what casual fans completely missed. There's a massive difference between putting up numbers and actually contributing to team success. The question everyone started asking was devastating. What does a WNBA legend see in Angel Reese's game that her biggest supporters are missing? Here's where the story takes a shocking turn. The very statistics that Reese's fans used to defend her actually prove Parker's point when you examine them in context. Those celebrated double-doubles start looking very different when you realize they often come in losing efforts where Reese's decision-making actively hurts her team's chances. The most glaring example came in a game against Minnesota that exposed everything wrong with the hype surrounding Reese. Angel Reese committed 9 turnovers in a single game against the Lynx. 9 turnovers. This wasn't just a bad night. This was a complete meltdown that revealed fundamental flaws in her basketball IQ that double-double stats had been masking all season. These weren't forced mistakes from elite defensive pressure, but sloppy errors that high school coaches would bench players for making. Reese was throwing passes over teammates' heads, committing traveling violations from poor footwork, and making ball-handling mistakes that practically gifted possessions to Minnesota. The Lynx didn't even have to work hard for these steals. Reese was handing them the basketball like she was playing for the wrong team. The 9-turnover disaster became a blueprint for opposing coaches. They realized they could target Reese specifically because she'd crack under pressure and give away critical possessions. Teams started running plays designed to force the ball into Reese's hands in uncomfortable situations, knowing she'd likely turn it over. This wasn't an isolated incident. It was the most obvious example of a troubling pattern that plagued her entire season. But here's the most damning evidence of all. The data on how Chicago performs when Reese plays fewer minutes versus extended playing time. The numbers are absolutely devastating for her reputation. When the Sky limits Reese to under 30 minutes per game, their win percentage jumps dramatically compared to games where she plays heavy minutes. This pattern destroys every narrative the media has been pushing about her value. Chicago moves the ball more effectively when Reese's playing time gets reduced. Other players get into better rhythms, and the Sky actually look like a cohesive basketball unit instead of a chaotic mess built around one player's rebounding obsession. The team performs better when their supposed star plays less. That's not how actual superstars work. Through nearly 2 seasons, the only thing Angel Reese has proven is that she can't win games. The Chicago Sky cannot rely on her to carry them to playoff success, and the statistical evidence backs this up completely. They have only 1 victory against teams above 500 in the past year. 1 win against winning teams. That's not a coincidence when your featured player's presence correlates with worse team performance. As one analyst bluntly stated, "If Angel Reese is your best player, your team stinks." The numbers back up this harsh assessment perfectly. Her double-doubles are completely meaningless when they come at the cost of actual victories. Statistics that don't translate to wins are just empty numbers designed to fool casual observers who don't understand basketball fundamentals. The WNBA now faces 2 completely different paths forward. One path is built on genuine talent that translates to championships and sustained success. The other path relies on manufactured hype that crumbles under playoff pressure. Angel Reese represents everything wrong with the second approach. While players like Caitlin Clark embody the authentic excellence the league desperately needs, Reese has been playing the role of a star disguised as a role player. Her marketing team has done a brilliant job polishing the image, but there always comes a point when promotional efforts can't hide fundamental basketball limitations. The polish melts away when actual performance is demanded, and that's exactly what Parker's ranking exposed to the entire basketball world. Candace Parker's honest assessment opened the floodgates for other analysts and fans to speak truths they'd been thinking all along. Basketball insiders started admitting publicly that Reese's stats don't translate to winning basketball. The contrast became stark between teams building around players who elevate teammates versus those stuck with stat stuffers who hurt championship aspirations. Basketball fans are now equipped to see through hollow statistics and recognize genuine game-changing impact. They understand that 9 turnovers in a crucial game reveals more about a player's true ability than 30 double-doubles ever could. The difference between empty stats and meaningful contributions that help teams win championships has never been clearer. The truth has finally won.